Hi, Ambarish.
Hi, Kurush. How are you?
Great, great. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. So nice to talk to you again.
Good talk to you. Thanks for agreeing to do this. A lot of clients want to talk to, a lot of prospective clients want to talk to previous clients, and I never want to take our clients' times to talk to
Mm.
prospective. So this way, by having your video, it makes it a lot easier for them to kind of see what you have to say without having to bother you and take your time. So
Not
thanks
at all.
for
It's,
doing
it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And it really helped me as well. So I'm more than happy to do this. Thank you.
it. Thank you. So, Ambarish, before I ask more detailed questions, can you tell me a little bit about your job and what you do, your
Yeah,
profession?
absolutely. I'd love to do that. So I'm a technology executive. I have over 30 years of experience. And part of that experience, a significant part of that experience, is in the pharmaceutical and the healthcare industry, where I have specialized in building complex technology platforms for pharmaceutical drug launches and also business critical platforms for patient, provider, and payer initiatives. That has been a significant part of my career. So, as technology executive, but deploying my skills in these industries.
Great. And do you mind sharing what your situation was before you started to work with us and what got you interested to work with us?
Oh, absolutely. I had been sort of, going along on my career. I had finally taken a break at the end of last year, beginning of this year. Primarily because I started to contract and I was kind of really searching within myself to see how I could take myself to the next level. I found myself a bit, at a dead end, sort of, a bit stunted in my growth, and I felt that I could do so much more and I had so much more to give. And when I came across the platform, it really intrigued me at first. And as I kept thinking about it, I figured this was my pathway. This was what I needed to do, not really knowing where you would lead us, but it seemed so convincing. And what you had said and what you had told, uh, happened from the program would have been, just the right space for me to be able to find that new voice for myself, if I may say that.
Great. And what happened after we started working together? What results have you seen?
So very interestingly, when I just first started working with you, this is really a world of wonder. I began it became a series of discoveries about myself. Even starting with the personality test and trying to figure out, really understanding for myself that many things that I thought were not my strengths, I realized were my strengths. I began to recognize why I responded in a certain way. I began to recognize what the strengths of my personality are. Oftentimes we forget all of those things that we do. Sort of our mind is curated towards, looking at failures and not looking at successes. And I think also understanding about yourself. We see so many different kinds of leaders around us, and we often say, "Oh, wow, I see success in a certain sphere. I see success in a certain type of a person. So maybe that success is not for me." And then you begin to realize, and certainly, I owe you all of that, that I begin to recognize what my strengths are and where my blind spots are. And some of those blind spots are not recognizing your own strengths. I mean, those are the ones you want to start working on right away. So that was absolutely magnificent for me personally to be able to see that. And those are sort of, as you asked, one of the first few things I saw as we moved along, in our conversation in the first few weeks.
Great. And what did you find most beneficial in the program for your situation? You talked about leadership personality, but you also are working on your brand. What do you find the most beneficial in the program? What's
So
worked for you the most?
So yeah, you mentioned it. Actually, I think before, like when you go from the world of discovery, for me it was a bit confronting to be able to have to deal with blind spots and really commit myself to who I am. Just being able to write that down, and you really do take us through a really deep uh, experience or deep sort of process, or of understanding who we are. And I think that's really critical. I've always thought of myself as self-aware, and I am self-aware, maybe more so than, or actually, I am self-aware, but perhaps not as much as I thought I was. We begin to
Hmm.
really recognize what we should be aware of about ourselves, and where we can take a lot of strength and you know belief in ourselves from. And then, as you mentioned, the branding. I think that to me was the culmination of everything. You have to say things about yourself that you were shy to say. Some people, and this is for me personally, my personality type said to me always, don't say it, include everybody. And I can be inclusive in my own success, but I also need to know that I led something and be able to, just being able to state that. When before we first been working on our brand, I spent some time saying, really, can I say this? And then you begin to own it and say, this is who I am. Wow, look at me. And I think that was really critical. So I would call it 3 phases for me. One is the initial wonder, just learning. 2 is being able to internalize it and own it. And 3 is, the manifestation of that owning is saying, here's my brand. This is who I am. So those are 3 really critical phases for me. I know there's many more modules there, but, if I just kind of culminated all of that in one single area, those would be really significant for me.
Great. That was a great summarization. Thank you for doing that. So one last question, Ambarish. What's your advice for people who are watching this video and feeling stuck in their career and looking to break through, and they're considering whether this program is right for them or not?
Oh yeah, I do. I think really critical is trust process. Don't try and jump ahead. So that's really critical. I think we often want to get to the end of the book before we've read the first part and becomes really interesting. And this book is really about yourself. So just wait till you get, it's not that long. You will get to the end. The other thing I feel is really significant is you will begin to feel stuck somewhere in the after the first 3 or 4 weeks. Just take your time and go through the process as it's been prescribed. You don't have to be perfect. You have many opportunities to kind of interact with you. Those weekly calls are significant. So I'll get to that, but it's really important to be able to go through it, write down what comes to you, and work with you to improve that. And then of course weekly calls, attend them. You will see anyone who's walking into this program will see there's many other people dealing with the same things, and that's very, very empowering. The first few weeks you feel like I'm the only one, and then you begin to realize everybody's in the same boat, and you're really solving a problem on a much larger scale, and this is something that we all have to deal with. And for that, I think that's when you begin to get really thankful for those every week conversations. I would suggest to people, don't miss it. If you're delayed, communicate with you, because you have a lot of magnanimity to be able to give people time and their space to be able to grow. So certainly take advantage of who you are as a person and how you teach, because you allow a lot of space for growth.
Very good. Well, Ambarish, thank you very much for this interview. This was very helpful. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are going to listen to this find it very helpful as well. I know you're going to achieve a lot of successes. I'm obviously going to be by your side, watching your successes and help you any way I can. And I look forward to continuing our friendship and our relationship and seeing all your successes in the future.
Thank you so much, Bruce. It's been great to meet you, to know you now, and to be able to work with you. And I am looking forward to all of those things. So thank you very much. I'm really grateful for you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.